Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. Thanks guys for the support. This episode is going to be called Invisible Support. I'm saying thank you to everyone who's listening, and also thank you for the people who clicked the secret link or got the VIP link uh, for the testing. And it was a lot of mixed reviews, but hopefully we'll try to implement more of that stuff in the future. I even tried with this episode too with the intro. So, guys, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Even with the background music, it was mixed, but I'm still going to throw in both or one or the other in future episodes. This episode's called Invisible Support because no matter what you think you're doing or what you're going for, there's going to be some people who support you openly. There's going to be people who are very vocal about their support, and then obviously you're going to have the haters. And I think that's the strange thing about life, where we're always focusing on the negative and we don't see the hidden results of people that support you. So I think my biggest example was when I got promoted at work, and how many people just supported me. And there was some people that I haven't talked to in years, and they came out of the woodwork telling me, oh, I knew you could make it, or I remember when you could barely do this or that, and now we're here. And it's a great feeling. And I think it's weird that people, unless it's like some kind of narcotic. So like I count alcohol as a narcotic because it is a narcotic. That's a good feeling that some people chase. And I don't understand it where people don't notice the invisible support. But at the same time, that's something where you have to be like really aware of your surroundings, or even aware of your influence. And it's crazy because even at times I'm not aware of my influence, or the little words that you could say, how piercing they can be. And that's the thing about invisible support. It's there, and it's just like, I guess it could be like background noise or background music. Or, sometimes people take it as people trying to suck up because, you're finally winning or whatever. But that shouldn't be the way that we should take it. But at the same time, it's the way that we tend to take it. Recently I was out with a friend and we were just chatting, of course, and then the waitress was coming by and they were asking us a bunch of questions, and it was definitely interesting. With the little interaction of a person, you could kind of profile them if you if you really pay attention, or if you're like opening your ears to what people are saying. I'm not going to reveal the whole conversation set, but it was interesting how little comments kind of told a lot about a person. And this is a person that, if we were there for an hour, we probably had maybe 5 minutes of conversation with them. And it was cool that through the conversation with that person, how much information was shared. And that's another thing too, where when you have that invisible support, or someone comes randomly, they're like, oh yeah, I'm a fan. Some people, it takes a while to register, especially if it's someone who doesn't seem to be super out there. But at the same time, you don't know if that person's just a quiet person, or they don't know how you'd react if you showed how much interest, or they showed how much interest that they were in the topics. It could shock you, or they just don't know you in that way, and it takes a while for them to kind of register or get the courage to say something. And I think a lot of people kind of disregard that. That's something that I kind of look at. I don't necessarily seek for, but at the same time, you could see how well you're doing something, or even how much someone might care about you despite how often you guys talk, or even if you're aware of the person. And I don't really want to get into gender politics where one will only see someone if they're interested, or whatever dogma that's out there. But it's good to consider the small support that you have, whether it's small, whether it's big. It's the same, it could be the same effort. You just don't know how that person kind of expresses themselves. You know, some people are really shy, and certain things they can't say, or it's hard for them to say. So they'll show that they care in another way, and you won't really realize it until you're kind of put in the scenario where it's just like, oh. And, I think that's a thing where it gets easier when you're older sometimes, or it gets easier the more you interact with different types of people. And I think I guess I'm lucky that I've gotten to interact with so many different types of people. Everyone's like really complex if you look at it. Even some of the laziest people you might know, they're probably very complex, and they became lazy for a reason, or you don't know what shadow events that are happening in their lives that got them that way, or they're in that way. So even if we are judgmental, it's to the point where we have to know where we're going, and a lot of other things don't matter. But I think it's just how social media has directed a lot of things, and it's changed the mindset of a lot of people, or it's pushed a different type of awareness to others, where some things kind of seem to progress. But I don't want to mix too many ideas in one episode, so I want to leave you guys at that. Show your invisible support by sharing the podcast, liking the podcast. That's more of visible support, but those are other types of way to support, or even like talking about it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.